Are the leaves on your plants turning yellow? Are your plants looking like crap? You giving them everything, fish emulsion, sulfur, cow poop, bat poop, dog poop. It's been forever, like 3.5 days, and your plants are not reacting to your treatment. Should you just give up, rip the plants out of the ground and start over? Buy bigger plants because bigger plants are better? That's what people tell you? Well, check this out. In this episode, I'm gonna be answering those questions, plus a lot more. So make sure to stick to the end. What's up, guys? Winter is here. Yellow leaves is part of life. If you grow plants, yellow leaves, it's going to be normal during the winter time. A lot of your plants are going to start turning yellow. Now, when does this happen? It's gonna be different for everybody. For me this year, they're actually turning yellow earlier by about a month. Normally, the leaves on my trees usually do not turn yellow after the first freeze, or at least close to. But this year, the night temperatures have been dropping a lot sooner than normal. And plants, compared to a textbook, are going to react to the ambient temperatures around them. Not what a textbook tells you. And this is the reason why my peaches right here, these are my Bonanza peaches right here, a lot of the leaves are turning yellow. They're looking like crap, and no amount of water, fertilizer, or magic juices is going to change this. This is normal for my area. I know a lot of you guys watching my videos right now are probably colder than I am, and your trees have already been through this phase. But in areas like mine, zone 9, 8+, well, for most people right now is when the leaves are starting to transition. Like I said, plants are going to react to the ambient temperatures around them, not what a textbook tells you. So these peaches right here are going to sleep. When are they going to drop their leaves completely? Normally, the leaves are just going to gradually turn yellow and look like crap until the first freeze hits them. Once that happens, most of them are going to drop immediately overnight. There is nothing to panic. This is normal. Don't worry about them. The first thing you need to keep in mind, though, is these plants are going into dormancy. Yes, when they go dormant, well, guess what? Your plants are going to drop their leaves. Plants sweat for the same reasons you do, but if they don't have any leaves, most plants are not going to be able to sweat. So guess what happens? The soil takes a lot longer to dry. Not just because your plants are not drinking the water, but because the evaporation rate is also a lot lower during colder months. So for most of these plants here, most people, if your plants are fully rooted in the ground, to be honest, you don't even have to water your plants anymore throughout the winter. Like these peaches right here, I'm reducing the amount of water they're getting. And in another few weeks, I'm probably gonna cut the water completely off because these plants really do not need the water when they are dormant. And this is not just happening to my peach trees, it's also happening to my apple plants. A lot of the leaves are starting to look like crap, like this ones right here, and in a matter of a few weeks, they're gonna completely drop. So you're gonna treat them the same way you do any plant that goes into dormancy during the winter time. But what about other plants? What about these Jamaican cherry trees? These guys right here are evergreen. They do not go to sleep in the winter time. They do not go dormant. So why are the leaves on this plant right here turning yellow? Yeah, if you actually post that leaf online, everybody's going to tell you you need some iron, you need some fertilizer. Maybe you need some fish emulsion, because fish emulsion is a fix-it-all for plants, right? Well, check this out. These plants right here are tropical. These plants right here require warm temperatures to actually perform their best. Now, the reason the leaves on this plant are yellow is because this plant is completely root bound in the container. Now, this plant was on my other property, and it was getting overhead water, automatic water. Well, I was running out. I put them on sale here on my place, and I had them sitting right here. And I was watering by hand. And guess what? When you water by hand, your plants are always going to suffer. So these plants actually went dry on me. Just one day, and you can see this is transpiration burn. If you want to learn more about this, I got another video where I explain this in more details, but just to give you a quick summary, the plant ran out of water. The plant was not able to sweat, and the areas farthest away from the trunk and the root system, well, guess what? They run out of water and they will die, and this is where you're gonna get, especially at the tips of all your leaves. But before that happens, sometimes they will turn yellow. before they burn. But the yellow is not going to go away. Normally during the growing season, if it was 80, 90 degrees at night, yeah, the plant will probably drop its leaves and grow new leaves. But right now everything has slowed down. One thing most people don't realize is plants grow when the night temperatures are hot. I live in the desert and here it's always hot during daytime, but it's not hot at night. And this is the reason why most plants actually slow down growing during the winter time. I don't care what anybody tells you out there. Plants will slow down when it's cold at night. What triggers growth is when it's hot at night. If it's hot at night, it's always hot during daytime, but not the other way around. So the reason why these Jamaican cherry trees right here have yellow leaves like this guy right here is because it ran out of water. And since it's not growing as fast as it used to in the summer, just about 2 months ago, well, that yellowing is going to stay there until next year. Here's another example. These guys right here, they were in smaller containers. And you can see a lot of them are yellow. Not because winter is coming and they are going into dormancy. It's because they went dry. And since it's cold, it's going to take them longer to recover, if they will at all. These guys, in my experience, are not going to recover. They're not going to look nice until it gets hot again next year. So if you have plants that are not supposed to go dormant in the wintertime, but yet they're yellow like this, well, my guess is they ran out of water. And just because it's colder, you're noticing the yellowing a lot more than if it was in the summer months, because in the summer months they would have just dropped their leaves and grown new ones. A lot of plants during the winter months are not going to look their best. This is a longan right here. Longan is an evergreen plant. But when it gets colder, guess what? Plants are not going to look their best. So if your plants are not looking green and lush and beautiful, it's because of the colder temperatures. Now, longan in my area can take a lot of cold. This guy right here, this guy has taken 19-degree ambient temperature. This guy right here has been with me for many years. Now, the only thing that will damage a longan in the wintertime is frost, ice on it. But as you can see, it's not looking its best. Reason one is because, well, I didn't fertilize it. Yeah, I was lazy, and it started showing signs of nitrogen deficiency. So, and then I realized that, and then it got cold, and now it's too late to fertilize it. Is the plant going to eat? Yeah, it will eat, but it's kind of pointless right now to fertilize it simply because it's cold. So the plant is just gonna completely slow down, so it's just best to wait until warmer temperatures next year. This is another plant right here. This one right here, it's a lemon eucalyptus. You can see its leaves are turning yellow. But this one, it's also because of lack of fertilizer, food, nitrogen. But this yellow one right here was already that way before the winter got here. But it's more noticeable right now because, well, the plant is not going to cycle those leaves, and it's also going to grow a lot slower because of the colder temperatures. Another thing to keep in mind when winter comes is not all your trees are going to react the same way. Some areas of your yard are going to look yellow, other areas are going to be green. And remember, it's about the ambient temperatures around the plant. This ash tree right here usually turns yellow first compared to the ones all the way back there. And the reason why is because this area, for whatever reason, actually gets cooler than that area over there. And that's the reason why this tree right here usually turns yellow compared to the other trees. So if you have trees in your yard, even if they are the same kind, some are yellow, some are not, it's because of the ambient temperatures around the tree. Nothing to panic, and keep in mind, your plants are not gonna look their best during the winter months, especially if you are growing plants that are not native to your area. This southern magnolias right here, the leaves are turning yellow too. Actually, they were yellow before it got cold, but I just started noticing them because guess what? I'm starting to notice all the other plants. But this right here, this plant in my area is evergreen. It will take the cold, it will take the sun, super easy to grow. But this yellow right here, it's not going to go away even if I fertilize a plant, simply because the cooler temperatures are going to slow down this plant, and even if I put fertilizer in there, it's going to take all the way through next year for this plant to actually look nicer. So yes guys, winter is here, yellow leaves, crappy looking trees, nasty trees, whatever else that is not supposed to be happening to your trees, it's going to be normal during the winter months. In my recommendation, just don't worry about it. If you have plants that are sensitive, make sure you protect them. If you don't have plants that are sensitive, don't worry about them. It's normal. No amount of fertilizer, no amount of water, no amount of anything else that you put in the soil, on the leaves or anything else, it's going to make your plants look better. What's actually going to make your plants look better is warmer night temperatures and patience. Most people in gardening do not have patience, and that's the main reason why all these companies out there make so much money off you, because you think there is something that you can add to your plants that's going to make them look better, when in reality all you needed to do was wait. Now let's talk about the bigger trees. So if you have trees that are looking like crap right now and you are tempted to pull them out of the ground and start over, well, guess what guys? Bigger trees not always make a better tree. In my experience, it's the opposite. Smaller trees are cheaper. Smaller trees are going to adapt to your soil, to your environment a lot easier than a bigger tree that has been restricted in that container for so many years. So even if you want to pull your tree out of the ground, do not. Wait until warmer night temperatures, until growing season, and see what your tree looks like then. And if it still looks like crap next year, well, at that point you can go ahead and start over. But in my experience, guys, even trees that look like they're dead, that almost dead, most times they will come back from the root system, and all they need is just time. One of the main things that you need to understand about gardening is everything takes forever. Forever, months to years. So if your plants look like crap, it will take them easily over a year to look nice again. So keep that in mind anytime that the thought comes to your head that you need to start over or pull the tree out of the ground. But anyways guys, if you like the video, don't forget to like them. If you haven't subscribed, well, what are you waiting for? And also, now I have a Patreon page, so check this out. I get a lot of questions, guys. Unfortunately, I'm not able to answer all of them. But if you have a question and you really need an answer to that question, why don't you join my Patreon? I will answer to all your questions there, and you will get one-on-one help there as well. But anyways, as always, I will see you next time.